At what moment did you realize fuck I'm old? When I fell down at work and no one laughed. Instead 3 people came running over to make sure I was okay. I never thought of it that way. When you're a teenager and someone falls, it's the funniest shit ever. Holy shit, this is depressing. Oh my, I laughed so hard at this. Thank you, Jelly Bellyman. You relate to those progressive commercials about acting like your parents. When I find myself grunting and groaning just to bend over to tie my shoes. Yo, I do this and I'm 21. I had to explain to someone how we used to organize meeting up before cell phones became a thing. That and having to use encyclopedias and other books to complete homework. I'm mid-30s. The reactions I was getting, it was like I was explaining how to split an atom using 2 sporks. I was literally just talking to my friend about that. Neither of us could wrap our heads around how you'd plan anything. If someone didn't show up to your meetup, did you just assume they couldn't make it? How could you even call if there were a change of plans if you weren't at home to use the phone? The reactions I was getting, it was like I was explaining how to split an atom using 2 sporks. I'd cry, but this is my favorite analogy. When I went to a music festival and slept in a tent after 5 or so years of not doing so. My god. I need to get home and take a real shower. Truth. I slept on an air mattress for the first time in years and holy hell did I ache the next day. Gone are the days I could fall asleep on cold concrete contorted like the best circus act and wake up feeling as refreshed as a spring chicken. Last year I went to a festival where we rented an apartment on Airbnb in the next bigger town and took the car over to the festival ground. That gave us the chance to sleep in an actual bed, take a shower in the evening, it looked like the whole acre coming off of my skin, and buy actual food in a supermarket rather than relying on tinned ravioli and the overly expensive crap they sell near the stage. Never looking back, best festival ever. When I was in my late 20s I dated a girl who had a daughter. The daughter and I got along great, played a bunch of Katamari together, etc. Years later, that girl and I have long since broken up. I did some volunteer teaching at one of the local alternative schools with my wife. And one of students in the film class we taught was my ex-girlfriend's daughter, now 18 years old. At some point in your life, whether you have kids or not, you realize you're technically old enough to be a grandparent. And that feels very old. Over the summer I was reading about a teenager who had been killed. He was survived by a daughter and his 33-year-old mother. Now, this isn't normal overall by any means, but I still stopped to think how this woman was not only a grandmother but could have been a senior in high school when I was a freshman. I just turned 30 and got a hemorrhoid instantly. Also I have no idea how to spell hemorrhoid. Allow me to help you, hemorrhoid. Don't stress out too bad. I got hemorrhoids in my teens. When my son could outrun me. I went obstacle course running with my oldest, 6 years at that time, and he asked if we could still be doing that in 10 years. I told him I would be 50 so sure. You know what that little shit said? Cool, I will hold back for you, Dad. He is probably right, but I will keep training to not make it easy for him to pass me. I used to drive for Uber and one night I realized the college girls I picked up could have been my adult daughters. I had something similar, but realized the college girls were too young for my children. My girlfriend and I went to visit our university campus a few years ago and I realized any of the students who saw us wandering around would have assumed we were some students' parents. I saw a picture on Facebook of a friend from college and thought, damn, he got fat and old. I immediately realized. I also got fat and old. My 2 New Year's resolutions are, number 1, get back into the shape I was before the accident, number 2, stop referring to letting myself go and getting fat as the accident. They played Green Day and The Offspring on the classic rock radio station. Then the announcer says something about it being released on this day 20 years ago, WTF. You know you're old when The Offspring actually have offspring and Billy Joe Armstrong drops the kids off at Green Daycare. When I overheard my teenage niece and her friends taking the piss out of things millennials say. Listen here you little shits. Ha ha ha, my sister is 19 and she's been keeping me abreast of the millennials' are corny jokes. I had no idea we were suddenly so fucking old and uncool. Instead of growing facial hair to look older, I'm shaving it to look younger. 27 here and still shaving to look older instead of looking like a 16-year-old who is trying to grow his first beard. Get a cool lumberjack-esque beard, perfect blend of both. When I spotted a grey pubic hair, oddly this bothered me more than the grey hairs on my scalp. A what now? Is this a thing? When I'm signing up for an account on a website, I have to scroll back pretty far to find my birth year now. According to most websites I was born on January 1st, 1901. My 12-year-old daughter's friend told her the amount of times your mom has worn that outfit is astronomical, and when my daughter repeated it to me all my hopes of being a cool mom were crushed and I felt older than I ever have. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.